All right, let's get started on our infographic work of the day here. I couldn't be with you today, but I'm going to talk you through what I want you to do. I'm going to hop here to my website first of all. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. Today we're working on the birthday infographic. You might remember that yesterday I had you fill out a quick survey where you indicated your birthday month. Now we're going to use that data to have you work through another type of infographic that is pretty common in the world of infographics. Okay, so I'm going to get this out of the way. There's no project guide for this, so I'm going to just pull this out of the way here, and I want to get to Adobe Illustrator, and I'll work my way there. I'll have to just tab through my different items that I have open, and I will get there. There we go. Now, this file is available to you. It's parked on the Courses Drive, Drive L. I'll get to that here in a minute. This is what you're going to open up, and you'll notice that it has the data here on the left-hand side. This is how it turned out yesterday. One of you has a January birthday, one in February, one in March, and on down the list. All right, now, after you do the work today, you'll see that I have the months marked off across the bottom of this artboard. After you do the work, it'll look maybe something like this, although you're going to pick your own colors, and you got a lot of choice about exactly how you put this together. But the big thing we're going to work on is having a data indicator. I didn't just put like dots or whatever down here in the months. Like if you look at the January part right here, there's one little birthday cake indicating there's one of you that has a January birthday, one in February, one in March, two in April, and this all matches up with the data that is in this list right here. It just makes a much more graphically interesting way to express the data and to show things like, in this case, the birthdays in our class. Now you can do this with almost any kind of numerical data. You can make it very attractive and very interesting by doing a little bit of work with an infographic. Now, you can see that I chose to use a birthday cake as my indicator. When I say indicator, I mean it's just showing the number. One in January, one in February. If you look at June, there were 3 in June. There are 3 in August. There are 4 in December. So the indicator is that graphic object that you use to show a number. All right. Well, it doesn't have to be a birthday cake. When you do yours today, just think of things that might be associated with a birthday party or with a birthday. It could be a little present. It could be a party hat. It could be a balloon. You can use, the idea is to use Illustrator to create some kind of shape, some kind of graphic object that would be used as an indicator of the numbers in the results of the data. Again, there's one January birthday, so I have one birthday cake. There's one February birthday, so I have one birthday cake. Now, it could have been one party hat and one party hat here and one party hat here, or it could have been one balloon here, one balloon here, and one balloon here. It's whatever you decide to use. Now, so the thing that's going to take you the most time really is making the indicator. Once you have the indicator made, it goes pretty quick after that because there's a whole lot of alt dragging that can happen. All right, so let's take a look at how this all works. I'm going to go ahead and close this finished copy here, and I'll even close this one because I want to see I want you to see how this all starts from scratch. All right, so I'm here in Adobe Illustrator, and I would click File and click Open, and I left this file for you. If you click here on Computer and you go to the Courses Drive, Drive L, we use it once in a while, a lot of times when I'm gone, and you go to Period 7. Look in the Assignments folder, and here it is. It's number 11, Class Birthday Infographic. So just double click that and load it up, and now you've got all of the information that you need here. All right, so now it's a matter of just kind of putting your indicators together and make it look decent. I'll do the title last. I think I'm going to get to work on the indicator here first. Now, what if you want to do the whole birthday cake thing? Well, let me show you a trick here. I'm going to use the ellipse tool and draw just kind of a flat, thin ellipse like this. It doesn't matter that much how big it is because I can size it later. And I could make this be whatever color I want. I could come along here and kind of a light brown top to it, and I could stroke it with a darker brown, but you could do whatever colors you like as far as that goes. And I could make the stroke maybe a little bit thicker if I wish. All right, now to do the birthday cake idea, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to do something we've done previously. I'm going to go to Effect, 3D, and Extrude and Bevel, and I'll show you the exact numbers that I'm going to use. I'm going to use these little dials, these little angle things here. I'm going to put a 40-degree angle here. I'm going to put a 0-degree angle here, and I'm going to put a 0-degree angle here. All right, now I want to preview that. and you see what I get. Now that's looking pretty good, but I think the other thing that I'm going to do is change the extrude depth from 50 point to 100 point. And now that looks even a little bit better. You can see what's happening here on my birthday cake. It's kind of roundish and it's sticking down here, and that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That was 40, 0, 0, and 100 on the extrude depth. I'm previewing this so I can see what I get, and if I like what I got, I'll click OK. Now remember, you don't have to do a birthday cake, but I'm showing you real quick how you could. Now I'm going to use my zoom tool. It looks like a magnifying glass, and I'm just going to zoom in on this area of the artboard here for a minute. I want to add some candles to that, and I'm not going to do terribly fancy candles. I'll just draw a thin rectangle, sort of like that, and I'm going to fill that up with yellow. And I'm even going to dial the stroke all the way down so there's no stroke on it. Then I'm going to take the line tool, the line segment tool, and I want like a wick that sticks out of that candle. And I am going to stroke that up a little bit, not that much, that's too much. And I'll make that a black wick that comes out of it. Alright, that's looking pretty good, I think. Did I get that black? I did not. I want that to be black. Okay. And then the other thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my pencil tool. It's a freehand drawing tool, and I'm just going to draw a little flame on here. Doesn't have to be perfect. It'll be fine. All right. And that flame, I want to fill that up with like an orange color. And you could stroke it, you know, however you want to. That's looking pretty decent. I can live with that. All right, so that little, I've got a yellow candle with a wick and a flame, and it looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to select those and group them. I'll go to Object and I'll go to Group, and that just keeps them together. Now, if I want more candles on the birthday cake, I could drop that on there, and I could make it a little bit smaller if I wanted to. That's sort of up to you, but I could just remember Alt-Drag. I could just Alt-Drag that to make another candle there. I could Alt-Drag it again to make another candle there. And so that's starting to look like, it's a decent idea that I've got going there. Now I could select all of that, and I could group that. I could go to Object and Group, or Control G, and so I've got a nice indicator made there. Now, what if you don't want to do a birthday cake? What if you want to do something else? Well, gosh, this wouldn't be too hard. What if I go get the Polygon tool, click here once, and say I want a triangle, and I click OK. It gives me a triangle. I'll select that triangle and maybe make it a little bit taller, sort of like that. This turned out, it came out filled in orange because that's what I had selected, and that doesn't look bad, to be honest with you. I think I'll kind of go with the orange. Now I might put a few little circular shapes on here that are filled with like a purple color, and they could be either stroked or not. Use my arrow tool to Alt-Drag. You got to remember Alt-Drag. It just makes things go so much quicker when you're trying to get a design done. And I'm just kind of randomly placing some polka dots around here. All right, and then I could select all of that, and I want to group it together, Object, Group, or Control G. This could be another perfectly good indicator. It's like a party hat. All right, gosh, not hard at all. I could even take the ellipse tool and kind of do that kind of thing, and I could even make I could take the paintbrush and make a little a little string hanging down, and I've got kind of a balloon here, and I could come along and maybe stroke in some decorations on the balloon if I wanted to, just kind of something like that. All right, so now I've got a balloon, and again, if it's made out of several objects, I probably want to drag over it and do Control G to group it. So what I'm trying to show you here is that, you can make the indicator, the data indicator, be whatever you want. I've got a birthday cake, I've got a party hat, I've got a balloon. I could have done a present that had a ribbon on it. That wouldn't be too hard. But I'm going to zoom back out here because I want to finish this up. All right, I want to be done. Now, again, I could pick any of these. Let's just say for the sake of variety here, I'm going to delete my birthday cake and I'm going to delete my balloon. And I'll use the party hat. Great. All right. So now I start thinking about, okay, well, I want to make this look nice, so I think I'll get a rectangle, and the rest of this is going to go pretty quick. I'll get a rectangle and draw a big old rectangle that covers the artboard here, and select that and make it Gosh, shall I do? I'll just do a purple rectangle. I got to get it selected. I didn't have it selected. All right. There we go, and I'll fill that with purple. And no stroke on it. I'm not going to have a stroke. And I'm going to arrange and send to back. If it's covering up something you don't want it to cover up, I'll just send it to the back. All right, so that kind of gets it back there. So it's behind all the lettering down here. And now it's just a matter of really doing this. You know, I want to take this, and I'm probably going to make this smaller. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. And I want to drop this right down here. And again, maybe a little bit smaller than that because I want it to fit in there, all right. Okay, so, you know, January had 1 birthday. So I can use that party hat, and that's 1 indicator. February had 1. So that's going to be Alt-Drag and drop that just kind of lined up right above February there. Just line it up as best you can. I didn't get my Alt key down at the right time there. All right, so now I've got that. March only had 1. So it's Alt-Drag, and I make 1 for March. And you're getting the idea here. All right, April had 2, so it's Alt-Drag, and I get 1 over here for April, and then I want to Alt-Drag again and put another one maybe right above it. Those little green smart guides will kind of help you line things up a little bit, but line them up as best you can. Just make it look as good as you can. As I work my way on through, May had 1, so again it's going to be Alt-Drag and drop in a party hat, and June had 3. All right, so it's Alt-Drag and Alt-Drag and put one up above there, and Alt-Drag again and put another one up there. And again, those smart guides are going to help you kind of line things up and make it look nice a little bit. Now, I'm not going to do all the months. You're getting the idea. Once I have an indicator, I can just kind of Alt-Drag it into place. Now, you might want to do something like this. This is kind of up to you. I could take the line tool and stretch a line straight up, kind of right in between. That kind of ran away on me, but I'll show you what I'm thinking there. Get that zoom back down. And I'm just going to use kind of a little dividing line right in between January and February. You wouldn't have to do that, but you can. And I could even Alt-Drag that if I want to make another one that's over here kind of between February and March. And Alt-Drag that. And I could drop one in between March and April, and I could Alt-Drag that and drop one in between April and May. And you know, you can spend a little time trying to get it all lined up and everything. There's lots of ways to do that, and we haven't talked about all the ways to align things in Illustrator. There are ways to do that. We just haven't gotten to it. But you make it look, you work on making it look as best you can. Now also remember up here it says gotta have a title. All right, well, so I would come along here and I would want some text, and I'm going to pull my artboard over to the side here, and I'll just say something like class birthdays. All right, you need some kind of title. Make that text a little bit bigger. Use whatever font you want. We've kind of talked about that. I will use, there's a Rockwell, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to use a Rockwell font, and I think there's a bold version of that. I'm going to use bold. And I'll make that, instead of being black, I'll make it yellow with a black stroke to make it pop out a little bit. And I could lay that in here. Now, you know, you can do this kind of thing. You can come along here and draw a rectangle that kind of lays right up there, and then put the text right on top of that rectangle. And it's behind it. I'm just going to do an arrange and bring to front. Now this isn't complete, but you're getting the idea. I'm getting my indicators in place. I'm kind of decorating this up. I've got a title at the top. It's making progress. It's getting to where I want it to be. So that's the idea that we're working on. All right, you're working on taking this data over here and put it into an infographic form. Save your work when you're done. Turn it in on My Big Campus. You'll see an assignment there for infographic, birthday infographic. All right, it is your turn. Have at it.